Hello, welcome to Wednesday. We are working on identify equivalent expressions, which our standard is identify equivalent algebraic expressions. So we have worked on this a little bit, but when we worked on this, we used substitution method to see if the expressions were equivalent. So let's look over our example and see what the difference will be. So it says use properties to determine whether 5a plus 7 times 3 plus a and 12a plus 21 are equivalent. And remember, equivalent means equal in value. Awesome. So let's look through the steps that they went through. So the first step was to rewrite the first expression using the distributive property. So we're using distributive property, all of our properties, to find out are these expressions equivalent, equal in value. If they are, they should end up looking the same. Multiply 7 and 3 and multiply 7 and a. So notice here they went from 5a plus 7 times 3 plus a. They multiplied the 7 times 3, giving them 21, and 7 times a, which we just rewrite as 7a because 7 next to a means they're being multiplied. Second step, use the commutative property of addition. So switch the order when we are adding. We can switch 21 and 7a. So we are grouping our like terms together. So we have 5a plus 7a plus 21. Use the associative property of addition to group the like terms. So they are putting the like terms 7a and 5a are together using parentheses. So they just went ahead and put them in parentheses together. Still bring down plus 21 because it's still part of the expression. Then last step is just combine the like terms. So add any terms that are the same. So we can add 5a plus 7a, which would give us a total of 12a. Bring down plus 21, and that is our final expression after we went through all the steps. So last thing we need to check is if this expression matches the other expression. So compare the expressions 12a plus 21 and 12a plus 21. They are the same. Exactly. So the expressions 5a plus 7 times 3 plus a and 12a plus 21 are equivalent because they end up being the same expression. So let's go ahead and practice one together. So use properties to determine whether the expressions are equivalent. So what I like to do is I like to rewrite both expressions. So I'm just rewriting 6 times p plus q, and I'm setting it up so I have an equal sign, and then I bring down the other expression. So right now I'm saying they're equal in value, but I really don't know that, so I'm putting a question mark above it. So now I'm going to go through the distributive property here on the left because on the right I can't do anything, because if I do anything it would only be to rewrite the expression the same because they are not the same term, so I can't combine them. So let's go ahead and go through the distributive property. So I'm drawing my arrow because I need to multiply 6 times p and 6 times q. So 6 times p gives me 6p. Bring down my plus sign. 6 times q, make sure you multiply both terms on the inside of the parentheses. 6 times q will just be 6q. Bring down the equal sign and the other expression. And then I just want to look, are these expressions the same? Well, they both have 6p. That's perfect. And they both have q, but this one has a 6 in front of it, so they are not the same. So that's where I go ahead and I draw a line through the equal sign, which means they are not equivalent. And underneath I'm going to just write that not equivalent because they are not equal in value. Okay, so go ahead and try the rest on this page. Come back and check your answers. So make sure you're pausing, practice it on your own. If you can combine the like terms, do that, and then compare the expressions. Are they equivalent? Yes or no? And then if not, you can also use the distributive property and just see, are the expressions equivalent? Yes or no? All right, pause now and then come back and check your answers. Okay, let's go ahead and check our answers. So number 2, I ran out of space here, but I went ahead and put equivalent at the top. Number 3 was also equivalent. Number 4 was also equivalent. Number 5 is not equivalent. Number 6 is equivalent. Number 7 is also equivalent. And number 8 and 9 are not equivalent. All right, let's go ahead and turn to the next page. Okay, let's try one together. On Saturday, a farmer planted 10 rows of tomato plants with pea plants in each row. On Sunday, she planted 6 rows of pepper plants with pea plants in each row. Which expression gives the total number of plants the farmer planted this weekend? Okay, so we have 10 rows and it's with pea plants. So that would be 10 times P. So even though they're tomato plants, they would still be 10 times P because P is just standing for plants. They are not distinguishing between the type of plant. Okay, and then it says she planted 6 rows of pepper plants with pea plants in each row. So we have to have 6 times P. 6 is our amount of peppers times P, which is plants in general. And then which expression gives the total number? Total number means we need to add of plants the farmer planted this weekend. So we just need to add 10P plus 6P, which gives us a total of 16P. And the only expression that matches this would be D. Okay, try the rest on this page. Come back and check your answers. Okay, let's go ahead and check our answers. So number 2 was A. And the expression they initially gave us is 8G minus 2, but we need to break apart and factor out a common factor, the greatest common factor between these two numbers, which the greatest common factor would be 2, because 2 times 4G is 8G, 2 times 1 is 2. So we factor out 2, it comes to the outside of the parentheses. What's left on the inside of the parentheses would be 4G minus 1, which matches with A. Number 3 is very similar. The expression they gave us in the question is 6T minus 18. We factor out the greatest common factor, which is 6. 6 is on the outside of the parentheses. What's left over on the inside is T minus 3, which would be C. Number 4 was very similar to number 1 that we did. So we have 8B, 8 times B, so 8 times our beads, plus 7 times B, 7 times our beads. We can combine those, add them up, because it says give the total number, and that will give us 15B, which is B. Number 5, you are just writing expression to match Rachel's information. So 3 times B, 3 times B pages for her book reports, and then 3 times S pages for her science reports. Then they asked, is this expression equivalent to her friend's expression? So I set it up with Rachel's expression being equal to with the question mark above it because I'm not sure if they're equivalent to the original expression. I mean, her friend's expression isn't equivalent to her expression. So we can use our distributive property, 3 times B, 3B, plus 3 times S, 3S, and that is the same expression, so yes, it is equivalent. Let me know if you have any questions. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Hope no one's playing any pranks on you. Happy April Fool's Day. I'll see you later. Bye.